We're the Lockwoods, and we're traveling the world to experience up close and in person all the natural wonders and distinct cultures that our kids would otherwise be consuming only through textbooks and TV. We've left the hustle and bustle of BGC Manila and flown down to the beach city of Donsol, where we're hoping to catch a glimpse of the glowing trees of fireflies and cash in a rain check for swimming with the majestic whale sharks of the Philippines. But speaking of rain, we've had constant showers since stepping off the plane last night, so we're hoping to attract a little luck this morning while we wait for our guide. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Elysia Beach Resort in Donsol. It was about an hour-and-a-half drive to get to our resort from the airport last night. Waking up here and seeing it in light is refreshing because when we came to check in, it's just this dirt road. There's nothing paved here. So the sidewalks for the resort are just stones. And our huts are pretty basic, which is very typical for the hotels in this area. They're all boutique hotels with maybe about 20 rooms. But we have this big pool right in front of the beach, and all of the rooms are basically beachfront because it's just this little U shape. All of the rooms are the same and none of them are connecting. So we had to get 2 rooms and we are dividing and conquering girls' room and boys' room. But they really do a good job keeping everything very clean. We haven't seen any bugs in our room, and also, sadly, Colt hasn't seen any geckos in his room. No? Actually, of course he found a gecko. They have a restaurant on property, so that's where you can get breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you can pay your bill at the end or with each meal service. One really important thing to know about this resort and all the resorts in this area, they are cash only, so bring a lot of pesos. Now let's talk Wi-Fi. They have Wi-Fi in the restaurant only, but since our rooms are really close to the restaurant, we've been kind of lucky and we get a little bit of it. Otherwise, we're working on cellular. But this is a very affordable area to stay in. Our rooms are about $75 per room per night. So for our time here, we're paying a total for 2 nights and 2 bedrooms, about $350 US. It's time for the whale sharks. We're gonna meet our guide and we have to take this trike to get there. All 4 of us are gonna fit in it. It was a very short ride. It probably took about a minute and a half.
Good morning. So we start off with an orientation in here to learn a little bit more about what to expect.
Time to get educated.
Now, out of all the phenomenal things you can do.
Aaron and I didn't bring our fins because they're awkward to pack and travel with for just one little excursion. So we are renting some fins here for a few bucks. We already have our masks and snorkels. The kids have their full snorkel set, so they're all set.
You have to find the right fit. Oh, look at this guy's helping us out. Thank you.
We should point out that there is, statistically speaking, a better chance that we won't see whale sharks today than that we will. And that's because of the way they handle the interactions here in Donsol versus other places throughout the Philippines and throughout the world. They do it very ethically. They're not going to chum the water to attract the whale sharks, so that means there is a pretty decent chance we'll come up empty-handed, but it's really all about the experience. So we'll see if we get lucky today. I don't know.
But that is specifically why we chose Donsol for our whale shark experience. We wanted the most natural, the most eco-friendly. It's a risk, but we're doing it because this is the kind of experience we want, and if you want that experience too, that's why we're showing you. We're with Janelle. He's gonna be our guide the rest of the way and in the water with the whale sharks, hopefully. But we're headed to our boat over here. Really, wish us luck. Press that like button, help us out with some good energy in the air, and hopefully we can see some of these sharks, these whale sharks. They are a fish. We're gonna be circling this area and we have 3 hours. So if we don't see any whale sharks within the 3 hours, no luck, we're just going home without it. But until then, we are just waiting and circling.
So if you've been following our channel, some of you may know that when we were in Cebu last fall, we had one of these excursions planned for the south of Cebu. We ended up canceling that and instead opted to do the street food tour in Cebu City. If you haven't seen that episode, you can click up here to add it to your queue. Besides the fact that it was about a 4-hour drive from Cebu City, where we were staying at our resort, down to where that was, and it seemed like a really, really long day, we also decided that the information that we had heard about Donsol and the way that they interact with the whale sharks here was preferable to the experience that we would have had in Cebu.
It's almost guaranteed that you're gonna see a whale shark when you're in Cebu. They throw chum into the water to attract the whale sharks. So if that's what you're into, Cebu and Oslob is the place for you. But for us, we are risking it, and that's okay with us because, again, like I said, we're looking for the more natural experience for our family.
And at the end of the day, worst case scenario is we have a 3-hour tour on a boat, which we've paid over $1,000 to do before in various parts of the world. Yeah, it's raining a little bit here, and that takes away from a little bit of the enjoyment maybe, but it's still beautiful water in a beautiful place. So life could be a whole lot worse.
If you're wondering where the kids are, they are down below here eating some snacks. Might as well eat some snacks while you're waiting for whale sharks. Hopefully our luck is turning already. The weather is clearing up a bit. It's much nicer out now. And we've got a guy up on the roof looking for whale sharks for us. He'll be the first to spot them.
This is such a good lesson in perseverance or grit because it's kind of miserable out here with all of the rain. It's coming in again. The little chunk of blue sky that we had there for a few minutes is gone. It's now grayer and rainier than ever, and it's just coming in sideways. It's cold, the kids are in there. It'd be so easy to just say, I don't think we're gonna see anything today. Let's turn the boat around, head back, and do something a little more fun, play in the pool or something. But there's always that chance, so we're gonna stick to this, even if it takes us 3 hours of standing in the rain.
And it's a little chilly. This is not what we expected when we first signed up, but it is what we expected as we got closer to the day, knowing that the weather wasn't going to cooperate, and she's not. By all means, let's add some strong winds to the experience. We need more challenges now.
100% guaranteed it is way warmer in the water than it is up here. Well, we're pretty much rounding up the whole thing here, and we're coming up empty-handed, unfortunately. Very unusual for our experiences. We almost always luck out. That's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. So we're gonna get back in here, probably get dried off, and do a little local experience of some sort, and get ready for our nighttime Firefly river tour.
On the plus side, they are delivering us right to our resort because we're right on the water, and I guess we're just gonna get as close as we can. We might need to get a little bit wet. Colt fell asleep on some fish nets, so.
Come here, buddy. You can just head right on up there, honey.
Thank you. It feels really nice out now.
It's not even raining here.
Yeah, but that's, you know, when it comes to nature, it's always unpredictable, and that's what we love about it. It's always changing. You know, nature's a fan of our channel. Always be changing. One of the great things about where we're staying is that each of the room units has its own bathroom, and that is not always the case for some of the hotels or resorts that they have along this strip. Also, they have hot showers. It felt so good to get warmed up. And we were thinking about having lunch a couple doors down at Barracuda, but since it is raining on and off, we're just gonna stay here and have lunch at Elysia. Now, it's raining so much, you would think that it's the rainy season, but it's not. This is unusual weather for this time of year. Beautiful alfresco seating by the water, and I got Bicol Express, which is a local dish, and it is meat, green beans, and some peppers. That is delicious and very spicy. The meat's really tender, but the sauce it's cooked in is so delicious. It's like a coconut sauce with a beef broth kind of a taste. It's really yummy.
And I got some chicken curry. I'm starving and it looks fantastic. Big potatoes in here. I'm almost as excited about these as I am about the chicken. That's really good curry. Oh, so these are not like little chunks of chicken that you would just eat outright. They're actually still bone in. So I have a little bit of work to do with mine, but it'll be worth it because this is really, really good. I'm very impressed for such a small town and a small restaurant. This is part of a tiny little resort. This food is so authentic and delicious.
Now we're off to town. We have to hit an ATM because we need more pesos. We have to check out tomorrow. And then we're doing our Firefly tour on the river. That is 100% guaranteed. We're not worried about that not happening tonight. Punched in here.
We're gonna explore the downtown Donsol area a little bit here. This totally reminds me of our street food tour when we were with June. in Cebu City walking around. This is definitely a local hangout. Maybe we'll even find some balut in here, I don't know. But we're kind of exploring an indoor market right now. It's starting to rain outside. And can we just say again how crazy it is that it is raining as if it's the wet season, even though it's not the wet season, but it's just raining off and on and off and on. I think that a lot of the dollars that come into this city are from the whale shark swimming. Until 1998, that wasn't even a thing. It was just a sleepy little seaside village, but scuba divers discovered the whale sharks here in 1998.
Now it really reminds me of balut. If we were here longer, we'd probably do another food tour, but we only have about 15 minutes. I have to say, I want to point out how awesome my hair is in the humidity. That is the best part about humidity. We are off to the Fireflies.
Okay, we are here, and it sure got dark on the drive over. I'm excited about this. I think it's going to be beautiful. I'm glad that this is guaranteed.
It's so charming. The people here in Donsol are so kind. They are so nice. I love this community. And I feel really bad that the whale sharks weren't there today because I really want to sell you on this community and help their economy and come here. So I know they're going to be there for you. This rain just won't give us a break. It is just as soon as we got in the boat, it started downpouring. And I think we might be having a little trouble with the boat. Literally said that the Fireflies were guaranteed. But now our boat is broken. I guess this is a lesson that nothing is guaranteed. But take it in stride and laugh it off. Yes! Woo! Success! See, if things aren't going your way, just wait longer. 1, okay, 2, 3, go. We're clapping because the Fireflies will respond to the noise by lighting up more. 2, 3, go! There, they did it. They twinkled up a bit more. It's really pretty to see the fireflies in the trees and then go right into the sky. The stars are out already. It's a beautiful night. Who'd have thought after that downpour we just had, the sky is clear and we can see the stars.
It's Orion's belt right there.
There are over 2,000 species of fireflies in the world, only one here in Donsol, and it's the smallest species. It's about 1/2 centimeter long. It's about half the size of the fireflies where I grew up in Indiana in the USA. These are also very small, like golden color, as opposed to the black ones that we had when I was a kid.
We're getting a little quiz. We're supposed to guess how can you tell if it's a male or female. My guess was that maybe the light's in the front for a boy and in the back for a girl. And Phil and Brooklyn say that the male's light is brighter. That's a pretty good guess. Colt, what's your guess?
I'm gonna think of the easiest explanation for this, which is the females have a brighter light than the males.
We notice there are fireflies who is keep on flying around the tree, and there are fireflies who just staying in the tree, right? So those fireflies that active in flying, those are the male fireflies, and the females are the one that is just staying in the tree and continuously blinking. Let's say that they are the lazy one. Female fireflies are lazy one.
Even though from afar it looks like these are just all the same color of lights, there are 4 different shades or tints or tones. There's yellow, there's a pale red, there's a bluish, and there's a green. And I think close up you can really see that, but from far away you can't.
Our new question is, how many eggs do we think that each female firefly can produce? My guess is 3.
100 or 200. 6,000 to 8,000.
Each of the female firefly, they can produce an approximately 500 eggs, and only 20% can survive, so almost 100.
Woo! Brooklyn got it right. And during low tide is when the females go down and they lay their eggs in the mud. They also kind of live together and cluster around the same tree, like they have a home, and they all stay around that area, and the neighboring family will be next door, and they kind of stay in their own territory, but they might mix a little bit. Did I get that right? They cannot mix at all. They stay in their own territories, so they have their own little homes and no mixing. Despite Mother Nature's best attempt to keep us from all of our activities today, we succeeded. Perseverance and grit. And at the end of the day, we got to see these beautiful fireflies. It's a beautiful evening.
The night is still young. We're not ready to call it quits. We heard some good things about this Barracuda place down here, restaurant, bar, just a couple of resorts down from our Elysia resort. So we're gonna stop in here, have a little dinner, maybe a couple of cocktails.
The path to get here is super, super muddy. It's just off of the road, and I think we've got to be close to the beach though. It's not mud anymore, it's sand now. Ow, and lovely little porch seating. And I know Phil's got his eye on this board over here with all the cocktails listed.
And Aaron's gonna be very interested in the food menu with some really fresh seafoods. Jackfish, barracuda, of course, sashimi tuna, calamari, and they do pasta here, so you can get a bolognese or a pork and vermouth. What are you thinking, baby?
Oh, I've got my eye on those prawns.
All right, yeah, I'm definitely diving into the margarita because Juliet said it was strong, and that sounds good to me. Fresh squeezed juice, and it is strong. Juliet is a hoot. This is her place, and she is Filipino, but she actually lived overseas for decades. She was in Europe for 15 years doing chef work, the United States for 20 years. I think she said her husband is German, but she's a real character. We're gonna have to eat fast. Monkeys are tired. But we are so close to the water. It's pitch dark, so we can't even see it, but you can hear it. And actually, right up here at the very end, you can see the little white caps as they break on the beach. I think we're like 10 feet from the shore. It's gotta be beautiful during the daytime. Anytime you go to a new beach town, especially, your friends tell you, oh, there's this one place that you have to go to. And I really get the sense that here, it's Barracuda, and it's because of Juliet. She's a fantastic chef, so if you come to Donsol, definitely come by Barracuda.
I am such a happy camper. These prawns are ridiculous. They're ginormous. They're like little lobsters. They're so big. I'm gonna be stuffed by 2 prawns. And Phil got the pork in vermouth and cream sauce. This is delicious. Wow, Juliet is the real deal. And it's like the little places here nobody would know about unless you actually come here and stumbled upon it. Well, we're telling you about it. So when you come to Donsol, you've got to get to Barracuda. We're gonna take our time. Oh, the head fell off. We're gonna take our time and really enjoy this dinner. This is the best prawn I have ever tasted. She put like a garlic rub on it. It is the best flavor prawn I've ever had. Good night.
My favorite part of the locals here is probably Carmel. She offered me her sweater and hat to stay warm, gave us a bunch of snacks for the boats, and lots of cuddles.
We know how much you love cuddles.
My favorite memory of the locals here was when I was trying to open up a coconut and they came running out with a butcher knife to help me.
I really enjoyed talking to Juliet last night, learning about her life in Europe and in the US and then here in the Philippines, and she's had to struggle through so much, earthquakes and tsunami, and she really cares about this community and her food, and it really shows in her food.
By tsunami, did you mean typhoon?
By tsunami, I meant typhoon.
I'd say my favorite memory is from walking downtown last night and just going past every little group of locals, every little street food vendor, every little retail establishment, and getting really warm smiles from every single person. You can tell that they're just very happy to have tourists here experiencing the local flavor. And I think we all just nailed it. Like, we can swim with whale sharks all around the world in the coming months, but Donsol hospitality, that can only be found here. It's family focused, from our resort to the whale shark trip to the river tour. These things were literally provided by passionate husbands and wives, brothers and sisters, working together to provide a welcoming experience for visitors who come in search of adventure. It's a testament to the integrity of the Donsol community. The same compassion that we've experienced as guests is reflected in how they treat nature. I mean, this is a place that just 25 years ago had no real tourism industry. And once they realized what they had, they chose to build it out the right way, to focus on responsible, ethical conservation. And that's the real natural resource of Donsol. Not the wildlife, but the people. We may have come up empty-handed in the search for whale sharks on this particular visit, but we're leaving with full hearts for the privilege of spending a few magical days with another community of inspiring Filipinos.
But now we have to say goodbye as we're off to Siargao. Hit that subscribe button and come along with us for more Philippines magic.
We are the Lockwoods. Aaron, Phil, Reagan, Brooklyn, and Colt. We're traveling the world to experience, up close and in person, all the natural wonders and distinct cultures that our kids would otherwise be consuming only through textbooks and TV. We think it's a better way to learn, and we're working hard to fund this little experiment in the hope that our kids will grow up wiser, kinder, and more grateful for the beauty of our diverse planet and its people.